first thing I need to point out will, let's say, you say the R18 TDI, what we debuted last year. To simplify it a little bit, all of the things we have optimized going into this year's cars. Audi have chosen to run two types of cars, the Audi R18, the Ultra, and the e-tron quattro. And basically, it's the same chassis, optimized in all areas. And that's of course fine-tuning on the aerodynamics, fine-tuning on the mechanical setup. On the front axle, it has a different kinematic. The car is less, let's say, a little bit calmer going into the corners. It steers in a little bit better and more compliant through the whole steering ratio in slower and faster corners for this year. That's the same for both of the cars. We have a new power steering, electric power steering on, which is also giving, it's very good damp, giving a very good feedback for us, especially on bumpy track like the Sebring. That's why it's very good to race there, but it's also very good to test at these hot and tough circuit. You will then, between the Ultra and the hybrid, you will then obviously have all sort of the weight on the front. With the hybrid, you have the flywheel, you have the electro motors, and that system requires some more forward weight distribution and weight in general. So the Ultra is really fine-tuned and optimized in weight distribution as well, but it doesn't have the benefit of the recuperated energy what we do in braking, and then after 120 we can release that and use that as an extra benefit. So it's both programs have very good and positive things about it, but at the same time also challenging and advantages. So I'm not the person to tell you exactly how it sort of works. I know how we take advantage of the system, and that is that you recuperate energy when you're going into braking zone of corners. And by the time you can recuperate energy up till a maximum, the flywheel up to 500 kilowatts. That's the maximum you can have of energy to release. So you cannot store more than that. So obviously you want to make it efficient as possible. That is that when you have stored that amount, you want to release some of it, or you want always to be in that range. How you then boost the system or the e-tron quattro on the front wheels, which is then very interesting. You can only do that after you reach 120. If that's partial throttle or full throttle, then we will release it shortly after then, to get the most benefit of the next straight. It's different from different kinds of circuits. Some circuits, there's corner braking doesn't allow you to, or doesn't. You're not braking enough to get to the 500 kilowatt storage. So it's all circuit dependent. It's also how much you recuperate at a certain braking distance. That's all what we sort of make a compromise from every circuit, from every type of day, temperature related, tire related, and generally related to the traffic. So all these things are just bringing modern motorsport into being even more complicated. And for a driver, there's a lot of sort of buttons or things you can turn on the steering wheel, and you need to be in good contact with the very clever engineers who is always sort of on top of things in terms of that extra boost we can generate from the hybrid.